Hello, my name is Andrew Fake, and today I'm delighted to be joined by Shervin Teymouri, Chief Executive Officer of Red Paramount Iron. Delighted to have you with us today, Shervin.
Thank you, Andrew. Delighted to be joining the Minds and Money here on the remote, and also see you guys next week at the actual conference.
Excellent. Well, perhaps you can start off by telling us a little bit about Red Paramount Iron for our viewers who may not have heard of you before.
Absolutely, there is lots to hear about Red Paramount. It is a iron and steel producing company that is going to be in production and going in advanced exploration stages in the next say 4 to 5 years. So it is a long-term plan for us to be in the green iron producing and steel manufacturing process in Newfoundland and Labrador in eastern Canada.
Mm-hmm. And then perhaps for your self, perhaps you can just tell us a little bit about your backgrounds.
Absolutely. By education, I'm a mining engineer. I still practice mining engineering. I'm a CEO of also a consulting firm, boutique consulting firm in Vancouver. And we do a lot of mining engineering design studies and consulting with several majors and major companies all around the world, including Mexico, including Switzerland and such. So we do that. That's one of my hats that I wear. And also I'm an adjunct professor at UBC Design, teaching mine designs for open pit and underground. So that's sort of my take to giving back to my alma mater. But right now the focus is Red Paramount. It is to take this, take the project into a really, really definitive stage of development and put it in the path to success.
Mm-hmm. And how about the rest of the mining team that you've gone and assembled at Red Paramount Iron? Can you talk a little bit about their background and their expertise?
Some of the teams is not assembled yet, and not definitive, but we are in talks with several really high-profile fellows that are really, we want to have them in the team. They are all from different aspects of the mining team that we are trying to assemble. They are in the logistics, they are in the iron production in terms of geology and in terms of the metallurgy, and they are really capital markets guys. So we are adding those fellows as we speak right now to the team, completion of our organization chart. Myself and Mr. Farzad Nader, he's also an engineer. He's been involved in several project builds in the past 10 to 15 years. He's done many building of the mines, so he's very well versed in terms of the mine overall production and building. So he's also a part of the team right now. However, we are adding the other team members, including we are completing our board of directors as we speak. So we are in the earliest stages of revamping our current company and making the team a complete team and ready for success.
Mm-hmm. One thing you could have mentioned at the outset was your sort of desire to be sort of like a player in the green economy, and I think on your website it talks to you about becoming a zero emission producer.
Yeah.
Can you talk us a little bit about some of the initiatives that you have got underway in order to achieve that?
I was reading an article this morning from BNN Bloomberg about Vale, and what they have done is, as China is putting a large brake on their iron production and steel manufacturing process because of the decarbonization, the reduction in pollution, Vale is increasing their production of green iron as well all over the world. So it is not just a trend; it is actually starting. It is in the process right now, even though it is on its infant stage. So for even 1 ton of iron, you get about 1.8 ton of CO2 emissions produced currently in the conventional method. Now with the green iron and green steel manufacturing process that we are planning for the Lac Virot project, it is essentially we're using all the green and renewable energies to make the steel in Canada, right in north of United States, in a process that is environmentally sustainable, and it is using the latest technologies for green iron production.
Okay, so kind of that sounds sort of like good. And then in terms of just with regards to your sort of like project, how are you working with local communities on the sort of on the ground there?
Absolutely. You have to work with the local communities to be able to make this a successful project. You cannot say the local communities are just there and partition yourself from them. So the local communities right now is very well in iron ore mining, and our project essentially is center of four largest iron ore mining projects in the whole entire Newfoundland and Labrador, or entire Canada, essentially. So we have ArcelorMittal, we have Rio Tinto, we have an Iron Ore of Canada, we have Champion Iron Ore mines right in our neighbors. So the local workforce is very well versed, and the local workforce, we were there essentially in August, and we talked to many locals there. They are supporting our projects on all aspects, and what they are really supportive. It is and we have what we are envisioning is essentially to have a very constant and a steady production and manufacturing process in Labrador City and Fairmont in Quebec, actually. So our project in Labrador, 8 kilometers from Labrador City itself, so it's very close to the Labrador City. We are using all the local workforce that we can take from them, and that's our contribution to province of Newfoundland and Labrador.
And what's the geology there like? Good.
It's my always take is where do you find mines where every other mines are usually close by to you. So we are in the Labrador Trough, in the biggest scale, and we have 4 mines around us, surrounding us, and what it is the geology is very similar in all across the Labrador Trough, and what we have done with our 12,000 meters of drilling that we have already done in the past 7 or 8 years, it confirms what we have in the ground. Now the confirmation there, we have updated our 43-101. We are not at the resource stage yet, but we have a large exploration target that we are working towards, and with confirmatory drilling, we will be at the resource stage in the next year, hopefully.
Sure. And the infrastructure there presumably must be good if there's 4 other nearby mining projects.
Oh, absolutely. So we have the biggest QNSL railroad, basically, essentially touching our property. Almost, it's 1 kilometer from our property. So with iron ore deposits, it is paramount, and hence the red Paramount name, to have your project close to the infrastructure. It is a bulk shipping, and logistics exercise. So you need to have that access to the railroad, and we have the access. It is essentially 1 kilometer or so to the rail. Mr. Nader and myself, we were there in August. We just essentially hiked up to the project from the rail, and the rail is active. It is using a lot of carts, and all the champions, ArcelorMittals, everybody else is using the rail line, and they are shipping the ore. So infrastructure in terms of the shipping is fantastic. It is there, and that's one of the really our selling points for and unique propositions for this project. So in terms of the power, absolutely, Newfoundland Labrador is one of the biggest producers of power, and green power, through renewable energy, through the wind power, through the hydro in Canada. And we have about 850 million watts of power coming online in 2022. So we are using that towards our green production of steel. In terms of green, we have covered that power. We've covered the city. We are 8 kilometers from the city, so local workforce is there. In terms of railroads, is there. And finally, in terms of the port, We are also, the railroad goes to Port of Sept-Îles, which is in St. Lawrence, in the river of St. Lawrence, and what it is designed for iron ore shipping to all over the world. So the whole infrastructure is set, and the stars are aligning in terms of infrastructure for us to be the next major producer in the region.
Going back to something you said at the top of the interview, you talked about it being 4 to 5 years, I think, for the project to go into production. But I'm just interested to know that if I was an investor and I was to invest in you tomorrow, what sort of timelines and what sort of investor timeline should I be looking out for the next sort of 12 to 18 months from Red Paramount Iron?
We are planning to go to either TSX Venture or Canadian Stock Exchange to be listed there. It is a 6 month process. Our focus right now is to build up the team and to build up the initial technical needs of the project, and go to the exchange and get listed there. So in terms of 6 months to 1 year, it is challenging to predict it. I have to be very upfront with this. So, but however, we just received the permit for the further exploration. So, and we will be updating our after the exploration exercise in 2022, we will be updating our 43-101 with the updated resources, and that is a huge value built for the company. So that's what I can say, and it's hard to make large promises right now. We can't do that to our investors. But however, what I'm really proposing is a long-term vision for the project. These projects usually go build 5 to 6 years, 7 years before they get started building, and and you cannot really, through my experience, you cannot really overpromise and underdeliver, and that's what I don't really want to do. My engineering hat comes in and says, be realistic with your expectations with all of your investors at the same time. So it is a long-term project for us, and but however, we have a saying: we don't want to sit on ours for indefinitely. So we want to start mining as soon as possible, and we have done. It is an iterative process until you get to the minings, and we have attacked every angle of the project simultaneously. So we've done the actual studies, we have actually done some very preliminary designs, and we are not waiting for just a linear process of drill, find, explore, list, and further. So we are doing a very iterative process in this whole matter, and we are completing any of the unknowns and risks that are there. So of course there's a lot of risk. Speaking of the risk, so we have to disclose. We have the, of course, for forward disclosure statements. Also, if I had the presentation, I would have done it. But overall, with any mining project, there are risks associated with it. Our project alone is there, but we are trying to de-risk as much as possible, and being very lucky in being very infrastructure friendly and very mining friendly jurisdiction, it really helps to move this project as soon as possible and as fast as we can do it.
Well, thank you very, very much for that. We don't get sort of as many iron ore projects as we'd like to at Mines and Money. We don't get as many high quality iron ore projects as we like to at Mines and Money. But in Red Paramount Iron Ore, it's definitely a high quality iron ore project. And also what we like about it even more, it's also going to be a sustainable iron ore project as well.
Absolutely. That's our goal. That's our intrinsic goal, to be sustainable.
Yeah, and we definitely wish you well. We know that your business is going to be a success. We welcome you to Mines and Money. So once again, that was Shervin Teymouri, Chief Executive Officer of Red Paramount Iron, with Andrew Thake from Mines and Money. Thank you very much.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Thank you very much, Andrew, for your time.